A New Mexico town is working to put together a fire department after the chief, who was the last firefighter left in the department, up and quit.
His resignation came in the wake of an inspection of the severely understaffed department. On special assignment, News 13's Lizzie Mitri exposes the problems the town leaders don't want to talk about.
It is concerning.
For 42 years, I've never seen it happen.
I wasn't even aware of it, and I live right across the street, so that's pretty alarming.
It's a public safety concern that the government leaders in this town don't want to answer questions about, refusing.
No comment.
Or just turning a blind eye.
Mayor, I'm Lizzie with KRQE. We spoke over the phone.
Okay, we're going to call this meeting
You don't
to
want
order.
to
It's
talk
5:30.
about the fire department?
That's Bo Lopez, mayor of Springer in northeastern New Mexico. The town of about 1,000 gets money from the state to help run its volunteer fire department, to keep people safe and to keep insurance rates for residents from skyrocketing. But over the last few months, the department's had problems, culminating last month with the resignation of the fire chief. That left Springer with a fire station and no firefighters.
It's a small village, and the number of volunteers available is really limited. So to lose the ones they had, I mean, I had never expected to see them lose the whole group.
Bill Fulgenetti is the executive director of the New Mexico Municipal League. The nonprofit advises cities around the state on government issues.
I think you will find that it is unusual that you would have all of your volunteers go away. I've been at this 42 years and I've never seen that before.
The first red flag popped up in August. A state fire marshal's office inspection found 25 deficiencies with the Springer Fire Department, including problems with record keeping, equipment, and training. On top of that, a report from then fire chief Richard Whited noted he was the only responder in the department. That is, until he resigned at the beginning of October.
The state fire marshal's office says the department needs to have enough firefighters to make sure at least 4 trained members can respond at any given time. It suggests having at least 12 volunteers total to meet that minimum response requirement.
We take fire protection seriously. I think the community of Springer takes their fire protection seriously. Unfortunately, there's a time where staffing levels have dropped.
We spoke with interim state fire marshal John Kondratik 2 days after the resignation of Springer's chief. He said the town was working on an agreement with other volunteer departments in the area to respond to emergencies in the meantime, but
it's a temporary measure. We would like to see that a community utilizing their fire protection fund and available funds be able to obtain the resources necessary to provide quality fire protection in their community.
Springer gets roughly $61,000 from the state's fire protection fund. How much they get and how much residents pay for fire insurance all comes down to how they're rated by the Insurance Services Office. 1 is the best, 10 is the worst. The state fire marshal's office says Springer got a rating of 6 back in 2017.
If they were to be surveyed today, what would their rating be?
I believe that their rating would drop to a 10 just because of the limited staffing levels that they have at this time.
I don't want my insurance to know that, probably, but I know there's a shortage of people that even would be able to volunteer or that would be qualified.
Peggy Price lives across the street from the Springer Fire Station and says she had no idea the fire chief resigned. That's what concerns Anna Phillips on the town council. She says she wants to make sure people are aware of the situation.
It's absolutely important because the people in this town don't really know what's going on.
Over the phone last month, Mayor Bo Lopez told us he hired an interim fire chief and had people applying to volunteer as firefighters. But he wouldn't meet for an interview to discuss how all this happened and how he's going to keep it from happening again. Before a public meeting in Springer, others on the town council refused to talk.
No comment.
And the mayor just ignored questions.
Mayor, I'm Lizzie with KRQE. We spoke over the phone.
Okay, we're going to call this meeting
You
to
don't
order.
want to
It's
talk
5:30.
about the fire department?
He only talked about it during the meeting, where, again, he didn't have to answer any questions.
So the concern is addressed. We're well aware of it. The issue, it was just the chief resigned, and so we're reorganizing and putting together a group.
Mayor Lopez said the town had a good turnout at a meeting for interested volunteer firefighters.
We will get our meeting schedule set up and continue on with training and further meetings.
The State Fire Marshal's office says it will likely visit Springer later this month to see if the department has corrected the problems it found during the last inspection.
The equipment, everything's very poorly maintained over there, so is the office, everything. It's going to be a big process to fix it up.
But volunteers are stepping up and people are hopeful.
Anybody else that would like to volunteer, we would love to have you.
The meeting ended and the mayor was the first one out of the room.
Mayor, why don't you want to sit down for an interview?
On special assignment, Lizzie Mitri, KRQE News 13.
The State Fire Marshal's office says Springer has since recruited 8 firefighters, and to get a good rating from the Insurance Services Office, they'll have to maintain those volunteer numbers for a couple of years when they're expected to be surveyed again.